Hey, Chris, you're the very first in here, and thank you for moderating. Hey, Christopher Everett, and hello, Sean. Y'all doing okay? Just gonna let this music play for a little while. Hang on, y'all. I need to catch this call. Can you all hear me? People call at the worst times. No calls today, and soon as I get this live going, the phone calls start. Can everybody hear me? Okay, our moderator says hit that thumbs up. Could you all please hit the thumbs up? We're working real hard over here because shadow banning is trying to shut the whole channel down. Okay. See, a lot of people do not understand that YouTube controls all views. Many of us do not get a lot of views because we're popular. YouTube pushes you through traffic, which they call algorithms. Okay? If ever you irritate them, okay, they have something called Shadowban, where your views are suppressed. If you're no threat, you're not harmful, you're not abusive, then they don't mind how many people come to your channel. Matter of fact, if they really like you, they will push you through traffic once again. So we're going to have to really work hard, many of us, as we try to get everyone prepared as much as possible. We're trying to get everybody prepared. Okay, let me know if this music is too loud. How we're preparing, most people are putting up canned goods, and they got bug out shelters. They're going underground. They're doing those things. The rest of us are preparing to go back to primitive practices. There is no other way. I don't care how many bottles and jugs of water you got put aside. I don't care how you go and camp out in the woods. You understand? This right here will require ancestral intervention. Okay? Glad to see you all aboard. Once again, please hit the thumbs up button as you come in, or if you want to thumbs it down, go ahead and do that. I will get a very accurate account. Okay? So some people equate their power, their supernatural power, by how many views they get. If I get more views than another channel, it does not mean I'm powerful supernaturally. It just means YouTube. It's all about what YouTube decides to do. I've seen people, here I am over here with 20,000 subscribers. I've been here for 15 years, and I've seen people who just pop up with a channel, within the last month with 500 subscribers get thousands of views. So y'all do the math. It's not about how many views we get. There can be a channel where they don't get no more than 5 views a day. They have more supernatural power than myself, because this is all it's all about. Can you read? Are you effective with your readings? Not how much gold you have and how much fashion you have. You understand? How much money you have set aside in your bank. It's not about that. Do you have supernatural favor? What I mean about that, can you heal your clients? Can you bring your clients' loved ones back home? Can you reunite them? This is what this is all about. Because at the end of the day, me telling my client after I took $2,000 or $3,000 from them, I get a lot of YouTube views and a lot of YouTube hits. That's not fixing their problems that they have at home. They come to you. They come to you so you can fix it. I don't know what's going on with all of these notification things and all of that. I don't know what's going on with that. But it wasn't doing that until I got on this live. A lot of activity starts up when I start these live streams up. Thank you so much, you all, for thumbsing up this video. Let me get into it, y'all. Let me turn this down. Okay, y'all. So this is what's important right now. Developing supernatural skills. Sharpening up your gifts at this point. Not trying to get your YouTube views up, your Facebook views, your Instagram, because all of this is going to be a thing of the past. Be prepared for internet blackouts. Be prepared for electricity blackouts. It's not the end of the world. It's just the end of the world as you know it. That is quickly approaching us. People are getting very desperate. I was just seeing where somebody just dragged a 73-year-old woman in her own truck so that they can hijack her truck. You understand? So that they can take it for themselves. And then a lot of times they're not necessarily interested in the vehicle, but they're interested in the gas she got in it. So older women are going to particularly be a target. Older women and women in general are going to be a target. I just went on a trip to hell. This travel, I repeat, I was on a trip to hell this travel. And I know you're wondering what happened, Mama, what happened? But I'm gonna do a little bit of bringing some awareness of the times we're getting ready to see. You understand? We're going to see more of that. So we may want to be going to these. People fucking desperate. Do you hear me? And we're not used to living in a world of pure desperation. Okay. People are going to be willing to kill you for whatever you have. They want it. And most of these desperate people, most of them, I'm just gonna be honest, nothing against our men here, because I'm sure our men here are courteous and they're gonna help women, you know what I'm saying, most as much as they can, because us preserving each other, that's the only way we're going to survive. You understand? But you're going to see it where people don't mind, going outside your head. Breaking into homes, not breaking into homes to, rape somebody or what have you, but breaking into homes because let me look. That's interesting. No phone calls or nothing today. I just been sitting up waiting on calls and nothing happened. So I just been chillaxing all day long. But anyways, you may just be setting up inside your house. Somebody break in and they ain't necessarily interested in you. They go into your refrigerator. They want to know what you have available to eat. They may be looking for firearms because people are going to be on a rampage. Man, just taken to the street. Military gonna be overly extended. There's not enough military and police patrolmen to actually walk the streets of the entire America to make sure everyone is safe. So once again, it goes back to utilizing, okay, your supernatural armies. It is very imperative that this is the direction you go in. I'm not going to buy, I'm through. I'm not going to buy canned goods, and while they spending their money on canned goods and tissue, water, or whatever need be, I'm here with my spirits and my ancestors saying, guide me. They have not guided me to run to a store at this point. Now, for people who really want to use a means of the physical to decide what to do, get out of America. Get out of America once again. They said Tanzania, Africa is the safe haven. Now, there's some other safe havens, but that is just what my sources said. Tanzania, make your way to Tanzania. Okay? So I know y'all saying, had you done your research? Have you been there? No, I have not. I am only speaking from a perspective of an oracle. Okay? And this is what you want. A lot of people don't believe in this type of stuff, but this is what you're going to have to rely on. Like they did back in ancient times. They relied on oracles and sages and prophets and prophetess, priests and priestesses. Okay, those, like I said, those were your celebrities in the day. Y'all get ready. Watch your backs everywhere you go. They're playing a game with the gas, the little numbers. Those numbers don't mean nothing. Doesn't mean you're gonna get more gas. This is psychological warfare, just psychological a setup, for you to think, oh, things are less than they are. Meanwhile, you're still getting less fuel to go in your cars. The cars are just going to be abandoned all over the place. It's going to be a automobile wasteland. Running to get an electric car, we gonna have electrical blackouts. Even getting a bike, you be riding down the road, you got all of these zombies walking the street. This is why they are preparing for a zombie apocalypse. They're preparing for that because when people are in survival mode, this is what they look like. Zombies. So, I was inside of this travel, and I was just driving around with people, my spiritual crew, my spiritual crew, to where we were going. Okay, the landscape kind of reminded me of where I look. Now I am on live. You admitted it, and you're disturbing me. Do not text me while I am doing my video, because I know you're trolling, and I'm going to block you. That's very disrespectful. So you keep it up. When I get through, I'm going to block you. We're on this landscape that remind me, the terrain. It was nighttime of my childhood world where I grew up at. City or what have you. And as we approached this hill, we're just having fun, and we're approaching the hill, and someone else was doing the driving, and I don't know who these people are. I just say they're my spiritual crew. You know what I'm saying? Y'all ever had these travels, or some of you who may have had dreams, because everybody don't travel, and there's people inside of it that and the dream that you don't know, but in your dream or your travel, you know them. You're comfortable with them. Okay? But some of them embody the spirits of people that you know here on the physical plane. But anyways, so we're just riding around, and somebody is driving, and I, out of my peripheral, okay, on the left side, I see something very colorful in the sky. I mean, it looked like some type of kaleidoscope in the sky. And I said, oh, wow. And I was so excited. It was no fear in me. It was excitement because I wanted to see it again. So as we draw, I could only see just a bit of it as we kept driving because the trees were in the way. You know how you drive and you see something in the sky and you can't see a full view of it. Say, for instance, the sun or whatever, because the trees are blocking it. So I was waiting patiently with excitement. Hang on. I was waiting with excitement. I got to see this. And I said, did you all see that? See what? No, we didn't see it. We didn't see it. And I said, okay. When the car changed directions, you could see it up in the sky. It was beautiful. It was a kaleidoscope of colors, in the shape of a hexagram. And there was no sound. Suddenly, as things progressed, there was colors of blues and yellows and greens and just more beautiful. It was more beautiful. I don't know why all these phone calls coming through here like this. More beautiful than a rainbow. Rainbow ain't got nothing on this. Okay? And soundless. It's almost like the hairs on your body were like razor sharp. If you were to just touch yourself, you'd get pricked by those like little tiny pin needles. And from there, I knew something was wrong because the black in the sky, where there was this kaleidoscope that began to freeze in the sky, like it wouldn't go away. It was just in the sky, would go. And I was like, the fuck? What is that? And it was pulling us all in so close to it. It's just like we were being pulled into whatever the fuck it was. I mean, like cars and shit was raising up off of the ground in that direction. Anything that was not planted and rooted into the ground was being pulled into this. This is crazy. That's whatever you call that thing, but it was just so quiet today. And I guess everybody said, okay, let's go ahead and let's start bugging her. And so from there, the black in the sky began to get this neon blue. There was a neon blue. And I said, you know what? I don't want to approach. We don't need to go there. I said, because whatever that is, it looks like it's something like it was more cosmic. Or maybe it wasn't cosmic. Maybe it was something going on here, like a nuclear attack or something like that. But I've never known of a nuclear attack to cause the sky to have such a image in front of it, and it stayed that way. And we watched cars get pulled into it. You know what I'm saying? And the skies, like I said, was a neon blue. That sounds like to me like something nuclear. What am I getting at? I'm getting at this right here, y'all. It's inevitable that we are going to experience whatever this is. I was listening to somebody talk about a ripple effect. I don't know whose video that was, but that's what this is. It is a ripple effect. Whatever is affecting on a spiritual level issues there is going to trickle down to every single dimension. So, in other words, I was in a whole nother world. So they are experiencing this. All of them are experiencing this. So really, there is nowhere to really go and hide. Even as I say, go to Tanzania, you really putting off the inevitable because it is going to happen everywhere. Time collapse is what my source is telling me we're getting ready to undergo. As so many dimensions are just really being condensed and congested and impacted into each other, will cause this situation where there will be an implosion of all of these different worlds. Time is going to run amok so fast until 1 year would be almost equivalent to just a few months. Something, y'all don't see something ain't right. Y'all don't find something wrong here. Something is wrong. And they're going to try to fix it with you all. Okay, they've already tried by, turning just analog time, which, that is when you keep up with time with, a long time ago with the ancients, they kept up with time with sand, the hourglasses and pendulums. And then it went from there to like watches and timepieces, where you wind it up manually and mechanically. And so it's going to be important that you bring these back into your life and incorporate them back into your life, because with the blackouts, we're buying radios, food, water. We're getting all of those things. You know what I'm saying? Our toiletries and soaps and stuff like that. Not all of us. I'm just saying many of us. But we're not getting these analog timepieces. They're going to be necessary unless you can gauge within your pineal gland, which there is. Not only there's a compass in there that directs you, and a timekeeper is within it. So these things are going to be important to gauge what time it is. Just not even looking at your cell phone, but just pretty much, just standing up and going outside or inside your house and gauging what time it is. Okay, not necessarily relying on the sun, because they're going to do something with the sun, y'all, and I'm gonna get into that later if I get to this video. If I don't get to it on this video, perhaps another one. You need to practice this. This is why I said the ancestors have the answers. No one else on this planet does, unless they're going to give it to you from source. That's why I say YouTube views mean absolutely nothing. They're nice to have, but if you are equating your success on Facebook, Instagram, see, we're living in the metaverse, in a false physical world that is being created virtually. You understand? This is what's going to throw you off when you're trying to survive here on the physical planet. Again, as I said, okay? So if during your practice this summer, I really want you all to practice. If you're not able to gauge time, like you see, because we've lost a lot of our natural instincts, relying on technology, you understand, or just feeling as if though everything that is the only thing that is real are those things we can see with our physical eyes, or the news we hear from social media and TV is the only there is, in our own little small world, that's the only thing there is. Then these are the people that are going to have a very difficult time, that you're going to have to watch your back with, because like they know you got it, and so they will bog you down with problems, with issues, with burdens, or they may just take you down physically, like when you're trying to save a drowning victim. And I once was a drowning victim, and I'm telling you, we fight like hell. We will fight you. And I'm on to another subject. Like like when a little boy tried to save me from drowning, I was fighting him. It was a thing to preserve myself, I was in a panic. So I was pulling him down in the water. I wished I knew. I never got it. I was 10. I never thanked him. I just, I guess if somebody said, what would be one of the last things you would want to do before you leave the planet? It would be to find this person who is much older than I am now. I think this person was 12 and I was 10. And I was trying to get somebody to help me as I was just going down in the water. And he came, he knew I was drowning because there was no lifeguard on duty. There was just a lot of children in the water. You know what I'm saying? And I made a mistake, took the rope off. How dangerous. There's no telling how many people have drowned there. Camp Fletcher. I'm not going to forget that place. But my foot just went off because there was no rope. There was nothing to catch me. And I just could not swim. And it just breaks my heart because there are a lot of people that drown. And that is a terrible way to leave this planet. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, my last wish would be to see him and thank him because I would have been dead if it wasn't for that boy. I would have went straight on to the bottom. And I doubt if Cam Fletcher would have known it was a drowned victim there. I doubt if they would have known it. And I never will forget, I was trying to grab they were doing this little thing like making a train or something. It was like 8 of them. Then they was just swimming. And when I was drowning, this one girl, I was trying to hang on to the back of her so that I would not drown. And she pushed me, ducked my head down in the water. Yes, she did. So, anyways, y'all, hey, shout out to the lifeguards and to the people who could swim and to this young man. Hopefully he will hear me. Understand, in his dreams, thanking him because I know he hasn't forgotten. So you want to rely on your compasses. They're in your pineal glands. Look those up, okay? That's the door, the window into the invisible world, okay? We all have them. They always say, oh, if you're this color, you got a calcified pineal gland and all that. Nah. Everything on this planet has a pineal gland that is like a mammal. But when you get into trees, it's something beyond that. That is the gateway, the bridgeway to other worlds, the underworld, the world above us and everything. Trees are very important in spirituality and people don't know it. And we need to know that the other mammals like dogs, y'all know I say I got to put the cats and birds and stuff like that. They're far more spiritual than we are. Thank you, Ajahn. Far more spiritual and more highly evolved than we are. We are the least evolved on the planet. What do I mean about that? We need instructions. It hadn't always been this way. Some kind of a way we lost our ways, you know what I'm saying? When technology came along and and the pygmies, the only humans that have the true intellect are the pygmies, and they're the first on the planet, okay? The very first humans on the planet were the pygmies. And they're going to be the last when we're all gone. We're all the hybrids. Okay, so hopefully you got some pygmy in your bloodline if you want to come back to this place. And they did find pygmy DNA inside of me, so I'll get a chance to return. And I'm like, pygmy? I'm a pretty tall lady to have some pygmy inside of me because I'm standing about almost 6 foot tall. But it's in the DNA lineage. Okay, so now, you're going to have to get in dark closets. If you can't hear your ancestors, go in them dark places. Very dark. Sometimes I just go in a super black room that allows me to listen. Now, some of that stuff that be talking, them be the enemies and stuff. So you may hear some shit that you be like, the fuck are they talking? But what is that? You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it can get confusing because like there's some times, I know I should go this particular place because I hear the spirit saying go there. And then you may hear some it's just sometimes it could be a lot of them in there talking. And then there's some that's saying, okay, don't go over there, and back and forth. But when the first voice you hear is the observer. Always listen to the first voice, because the rest of them are going to talk. A lot of them don't have the true direction. And some of them are enemies. You know what I'm saying? So always go with the first voice, the gut instinct, that thing right there. That is what you're going to have to rely on as we go into this very uncertain place. Okay. Now I'm headed to the chat. Just want to make sure I'm remembering everything that I was going to tell you all. Okay, so I know what y'all saying. Let's go back. Many of you want to know exactly what I got to say about what happened, okay? Anybody in this chat room know what the hell that was put? I'm just going to put it like this. Anybody got any idea what there is on this planet that will create this? It was just like, it was crazy. It was like a thing where just time just stopped, and what this thing in the sky, when it made this imagery and would not leave, stopped everything. Sound was gone. Couldn't hear nobody. People were pulled in. What could make anything like that? Y'all, I've been in some worlds, and I said I wasn't going to really talk about this, but I've gone to some very strange places on my travel. One in particular, I said I wasn't going to talk about it because I do not want no movie director. I've been exploited. Do y'all hear me? We've seen things that me and Willie have talked about. Like I said, like even with my brother-in-law, I was mediating, and that's what that product is on my website. I mediated between my brother-in-law and a demon. And when I think about it now, I am fucking creeped out. Because with that demon, after that demon took my brother-in-law, I began to see it. Sort of like what you call that, remote viewed. I began to remote view their world, because they have their own world. And like, depending on how you live your life here, your punishment and reward will decide what you'll do in the afterlife. And some people will be pulled in to be soul reapers. And that is not necessarily, like soul confiscators, sort of like hitmen and shit. That ain't nothing I would want to be. But they punish them and terrorize them if they don't get the job done. So, but anyways, once again, I mediated with him and that supernatural being. He kept coming to me. His stories were so bizarre for 2 long years. And I told him, I said, you're astral traveling. That's what you're doing. He talked about this family he lived with that looked like they were like in the 16 and 1700s. Only bread and cold water to eat. But he was a house nigga for him. And he described the family, and they were in his house. When he go to sleep, they were in his home, or he was in their home. He was having time disturbances placement disturbances. And the stuff I talk about, a lot of folks can't even relate. It's so fucking bizarre. As I get older, it gets more intriguing even to myself. People say, you're a great storyteller. I said, these are not stories, these are real. And he was sitting in his, and just, his physical body sleeping, but he's interacting with another dimension within his home. And that shit done happen to me before too, because the lady that's in charge of the night shift in Zelzorton at one time was in my house, and I had to banish her away from here. Okay, making coffee and just whatever, like she don't see me. I don't think, maybe she did not see me. Sometimes these are people who are in the future or in the past in your home, meaning that we're not going to always be in a house. One day we may move, or we're going to die, and then we can, here now in my physical, now I can interact with people who may have lived in this home, before me, prior to me, or later on. I'm living with these people. So this is why you hear these noises, like somebody creaking the floors, the ceiling, or whatever. You even though you said, I live in this house by myself. No. Somebody shares this space with you in the other world. And I told y'all, I know y'all heard the story so many times, how he was with this family and everything. He had the same name he had here, there. They called him the same name. And then he would have these entities coming in, trying to choke him, trying to hold him down for like years. And then I said about right around 2015, this is when it got real. When those two little girls became physical. He said they died, and then they came back with black hands, black eyes. I'm like, them the same ones tried to get me when I was 12 years old. They was trying to reap me. Same little girls. Sometimes I wonder, are they a part of my existence? But anyway, so he said they went from cute little girls to aggressive demonic forces that held him down while the Grim Reaper did what it did. But anyway, so he's very simple. He didn't know what it was. He just asked me, "What is this?" It's a thing with black hood over its head and a black gown on it. Don't have a face. It came, and then a second one came with it and pointed to him. Dang, y'all, that makes me. It's gonna make the reason why my videos are so long, because it take me to another story. I never will forget this electrician that did the electrical work here on my house. Come on, y'all, can we get the thumbs up? That person that did the work on my home here, the one I'm in right now, he came and he told me a story. He told me the story because I was telling him about my brother-in-law's story. And his eyes just were like, he's just staring. He had these, and he wasn't looking at me, he was just looking at the floor. When people talk about this thing, they can't look at nothing. No human eye. It's just like they get this weird stare. And he told me, he said that thing came to him. He said, it stood over his bed. He said, him and this, the Grim Reaper with the hooded cape usually come for nightlife people. Okay, when you're into the nightlife, like drugs and prostitution, and it's something that comes with that. And that's a very dangerous place to be on, because you're governed by an astroscape of beings that are tied to a very dark world. And all they do is they just remove portions of your soul and feed off of the energy of it. That's why when you see a lot of these people who are on meth and crack and heroin towards the end of their lives and stuff like that, you see just fragments of the individual's personalities left. And those who refuse to allow the entities to have that become very, very depressed, and they cry fits, and they say they don't want to live no more, what have you, as they fight to hold on to their souls. And many of them will eventually, if it's not homicide or suicide, to commit suicide in order to keep the actual demon from coming in to just confiscate their souls. But some of these people are moving these arm movements and leg movements, and you're talking to them and you just can't get anything into them, is because the soul is already left. They've already got that. And this is what this world of prostitution and drugs and entertainment and music and all of that is the club life and all of that nightlife is only thing it's about is restoring the light energy into the world of demonic forces. This is all it's all about. When you're getting into demons, they need the light energy, and they use these people for that. That's why they want the very young. By the time you get to be my age, they're not interested in pulling us and luring us to that dark place. You know what I'm saying? They need the youthful people have more light energy. That's what they want. So this man, he was saying him and his wife were heroin addicts and stuff like that. And he told me, he said he was on the bed sleeping. And see, when you're sleeping like that, that's your astral world. You're in your astral world. And he said at the foot of his bed, he said he's seen two cloaked beings. And he said that the one of the head ones, he could feel one was a head. It pointed at his wife like, that one's the one we want. And then he said he woke up, and the very next day, his wife got shot. Or she OD'd, something like that. And for him to tell that story. And it was weird because, like, fucking, shit that he done worked on up in here, and shit be acting crazy. So shortly after he did the work in my bathroom, I began to have trouble with one of the stink vents that he put up in the ceiling that actually heats and cool, and we began to have trouble with it. It wouldn't heat, and it was a brand new stink vent. So I dealt with it for 6 months, because in your warmer months, you don't need the heater. But then when it got cold, I said, I need to get him back out here. So it was like 6 months later. And he had some type of supernatural power with some energy force, because he just put his fingers on it. After my son and fiddled with it, we done fiddled with it, it wouldn't come on. He just put his finger on it and says, nothing's wrong with it. It took him to come in and touch that light switch in order to put power within that stink vent. I thought that was crazy. Y'all, let's get these thumbs up, y'all. Let's get them up. Let's make it worth it. And so, he come back to me. It just didn't even look like itself no more. It was not as it was not as life filled as he was. And no more eye contact. And he told me, he said, he said that thing came back to me. And I was like, okay. See, what I'm getting at is this right here. You, just because you don't do meth anymore, or heroin anymore, or crack, or whatever have you, these three substances, it does not mean that they let you out. I've been clean for 25 years. I've been clean for 35 years. But something still owns you. And you got to go in your astral world to do some work on that. But anyway, what I'm going to get at is, and then I want to come back to this. What I wanted to get at is, that man gone, y'all. Business out, just gone out of business. Phone number, dead. dead. The thing came and got that man. So eventually, I hate to say it, regardless if you've left the life of prostitution, regardless if you've left the life of street substances and stuff like that, you're owned. Because all of those people act a certain kind of a way because that's not them anymore. It's the entity. And I don't want anybody to lose hope, but you will have to have someone who goes into the astral to do work. I was just listening to somebody. Something is in here because that dog just got activated. Look, when I get deep into this dark place, it reminds me of when I was drawing a hellhound. And the hellhounds, they're all centered around certain things, like people who stay angry, more than likely would be confiscated by hellhounds and stuff. They have all type of reapers. It just depends on how you lived your life to come and get you. It would categorize you with what type of reaper there is to come. It's serious now. This is real. You cannot do a spiritual bath for everyone to get these dark forces off of them. You think a spiritual bath? Come on now, talk to me. You think a spiritual bath is going to remove a reaper? You think a spiritual bath and spiritual herbs is going to change the direction and course of an individual? You think you can change someone and you can't change yourself? Because change always begins with us. That type of work, that work is on a whole nother level. You cannot remove those entities. You got to bargain with these entities. Generational, a generational hex removal? There is no such thing. They don't work. The individuals that you're performing the work on are owned. I slightly do work like that on a simple form. I would never try to remove any type of generational cycles off of anyone. Because to say I can do something like that would be me not being honest with my work. When you're getting into situations like that, you need to be able to be an astral traveler. This is shamanic type work. No baths. I can hear that entity walking in my room. It gets like that because like I am actually part ways here, part ways somewhere else. I can feel it. I'm under possession now. My eyes are buck wide open. And I'm between this world, 1 foot here, 1 foot in the grave right now. I can partially get in there. But the most of people in this community cannot do that type of work. I sit down and I listen. I don't laugh. I just say, it's immaturity. There's no way physically possible. No bath is going to get you in those places. Be honest with yourself. And be careful because we're all governed to something that's going to hold us accountable for our action. Don't be silly. And in some cases, we need to be thankful that we don't have the power because they're not necessarily interested in you. They're interested in the people with the power. What do I mean when you're saying you got an individual that got troubles and you decided that all of those troubles are coming from generations ago. You're not wrong about that. You're so right. But there's no way for you to prepare a bath that is going to take you generations back to the source of what owns the soul and the bloodline. This is shaman's work now. This is when you're going to these places where these people have no formal education as we know it. Let's go to these remote villages in Africa. Let's go on back to Nigeria, which I need to talk to you all. I'm half Nigerian. To the Amazons. And you got these villages everywhere. Asia, Europe. These places are everywhere. Where these people preserve certain individuals from birth to go in these dark places and remain there. They're deprived of human contact in a sense, so that the supernatural gifts can develop. These are the gifted ones, the infinite ones that you would go to handle something like that. Because, let me give you an idea of myself personally, because I'm going from source. Well, I sit here and go in these different places in my Akashic records, which is my DNA. And like I said, we all have a collection of DNA within our body that is collected from our parents or donated from our parents, both mother and father, and all of their generations. So the majority of my DNA is Nigeria. So my sources are coming from that place. The majority of my sources, let's talk, is coming from Nigeria. And somebody said, oh, what if that stuff is not true? Well, then that means that when they do DNA tests to see who the dad of your baby is, that ain't true neither. They can go in there and do DNA diagnostic tests to see who your father is, in some cases the mother, the mitochondrial DNA, which only mothers carry, that traces you all the way back to the very first mother. So DNA is real, whether you want to believe it or not. So as I went in to that situation, I was in the midst of the bloodline of a woman that had issues that her mother had and the grandmother had that was destroying them and that was destroying her. It was some type of suicide that was going on. This dark force that felt like it was entitled to the women in the generation. The prostitution, the whoredom. You know what I'm saying? Where just men just want you for sex to a point. You stink. When you wipe yourself, your crouch stink, because there have been so many men in there and you just cannot get rid of them. They even breaking in your house for sex. You want out of this life. Your mama lived it. Your great grandma, all of them lived it. No one ever was able to be committed to one somebody. That is a generational hex. And as you try to save your daughter, your young daughter, who is now reminding you of yourself, and you began to hate her because she wants the nightlife now, and you can't do it no more because no one wants you. You are used up. Now, you don't know where your daughter is. Daughter 15, you know where she at. She's out in the nightlife. You want to break the curse. This is shaman work. And in order for me, let me talk to you, and I know y'all see y'all gonna do it. You could go down there and do it if you want to and just take people money. But eventually the reaper is going to come and you'll give an account for it. You must make a bargain. You. And the only way is you got to be an astral. Okay? You got to be an astral visionary or something. You got to be able to go into the astral. When you go in there, it's going to come. You're going to be in a grassy field where the grass grows all the way up to the hip. Sometimes this place is darker than that. Hopefully the sun is out. When you go in there, I'm just telling you my account. The place you go into may be different. You're going to go to sleep and you're going to go into the place. You're going to call that energy up. And don't do that if you know you don't know what you're doing. Most of you don't know what you're doing and you don't have that type of gift. So you ain't going nowhere, no way. You're just going to take the money. Okay? But if you're truly trying to help this individual, which I ain't fixing to go into the astral, into something like that. You know, I'm just too human for that. But you do have people who sleep all the time. They're not sleeping all the time because they're lazy. They're sleeping because they got many, many lives and they're interacting in many, many words. Because I seen one of them, he got white eyes, them cataracts. He can't see. He got long, woolly straight hair to hang to his back. He got these old rags of a gown on, and he live in a motherfucking cave. He ain't had no bath. Now, a lot of folks like that don't take baths. Do you hear me? They don't cut their nails and their toenails and stuff. Now, y'all, that be like, when y'all be seeing that be little soil under my nails because I'm planting all the plants and clay and all that stuff like that. But I just need to throw that in. So sometimes y'all see my nails dirty because as soon as I get through with this, I got 5 lemon trees that I grew from a seed. I got to put them in a pot, y'all. So, and I like to get the soil on my hands, but you know, it's best to wash y'all nails out because you can get worm eggs in your body, and that's how people get the worms. But anyways, I had to say that right now. But a lot of those people, those shamans and stuff, that mean they're not distracted by this life we're living. Oh, okay, it's at 3:00. Let me hurry up. I got to go to the post office. You know, that type of life. You can't have any distractions. You don't watch TV. You don't interact with people. You live in a cave all day long. And you know what I'm saying? And your toenails are not cut because your power is in those things. Your toenails are not cut. Your fingernails are not cut. You don't do that. You walk bare feet or barefoot everywhere you go. You don't cut your hair. There's power in not cutting your hair. If you're a woman, you got a beard hair to tend to grow. You let it grow. That's why people are afraid of people like that. There are some women out there that do not cut the hair on their chin. They don't cut the hair on their body. They don't wear deodorant. Some of these people, shamans, stink. Oh, he hadn't had a bath in 25 years. And he's just sitting there. These are the people, not all of them, but many of them that have the ability to go into the astroscape and bargain. That's what it takes. Not a spiritual bath, not a herbal bath, or herbal head washing. It's not that. It's not even about cleaning up your house and dusting. It's not about none of that. You can do all the cleanup you want to. You know, you can tell your client, y'all just clean up and take an herbal bath. It's going to be good. It's going to be all right. No. It's time to talk to that entity. I'm not talking to it. It is time to talk to that entity. Now, I've done some work like that and got messed up, man. I ain't lying. It's just that dangerous. It's just that dangerous. And then y'all look at me, oh my, she is morphed to this, morphed for that, wrestling with demons. slaying demons will transform you into looking like something scary. A lot of folks said, oh my, I read one of the comments. They said it was hard to watch me. It was scary watching me as I was actually divining with those cards. Once again, y'all, on Fridays, I will be divining. When I say that, most of the people in the community, not all of them, some of them will run to their cameras the same day and start live streams when I say I'm gonna start my live stream, but I'm gonna be in there doing some reads, and they're just tidbits. I'm really seriously questioning whether I should do that, because pulling 3 cards and 1 card is just the teaser, and you really can't get to the bottom of nothing. But we're just doing it to help people as much as we possibly can. But you need a full card spread in order to really investigate, because it left people with more questions than answers. So, it's one of those type of things, but it's just a teaser, okay? And don't get scared. But as I continue on my journey and I wrestle with demonic forces, and you're gonna have them, new levels, new devils. When you are after my last veneration, my. That's all because that's the work that you put in to be elevated to the next level. When you give to the spirits, you give to the ancestors, and you make them important and you make them priority, this is the way to graduate to the next spiritual level. Even gifting, that's still gifting, because it was a $5,000 to $6,000 donation. I'm preparing for the next one to come. And so each time I'm elevated to a new status spiritually. Some people equate success with, being able to have more money in the bank, being able to have a name brand bag, a Louis Vuitton, a Prada, a Gucci. That's successful. That's temporary. I want you to know that's temporary. Because if you're ever in a crisis, you can't eat that bad. But if you have developed a rapport and a relationship with a force, whether you want to call it a demon or a spirit, I call them all demons, all the same. I can send you a demon, but it's an angel to me. It's a lifesaver. It comes to claw up your walls, eat your food, which makes me think of something. I call them the bandits, but I had to change my mind about that. I had bought. Listen to this. That's why I say get ready. Now, this might not be everybody. It ain't everybody. I don't care what you say. We might be in the same space, but many of us are in another dimension. Everybody, we ain't all in the same dimension. We might be all in the same physical space, but depending on where your conscious level will determine what dimension you're in. But anyway, so we have this thing every now and then where things just disappear on us. And this was brought in when that vampire came into my life. Y'all be careful with people who said, I nearly died. Or I died. Well, not nearly died, but people who have flatlined and coded. Be careful. You're going to have these as clients. The reason why I'm saying that, most of the people who come to me are not necessarily looking for help. They are themselves practitioners. I attract practitioners to my channel, where somebody else is attracting people that are in need. But don't play around with those people. Once again, it gets back into bargaining. Y'all, if I left off something that I was going to talk about, bring it back up to me and I'll talk about it. Bring it back in the comment section. But listen, y'all. Now, I need to go back. So, I know you was a hoe. Your mama was a hoe. And your grandma was a hoe. Because some type of hoe demonic force has a hold on the bloodline and the generation. You want intervention. You're tired of it. And you don't want your daughters to be that way. Your daughter might not even be at home. You don't know where she at. You're devastated. You're scared. Most people are either sex slaves or they're being trafficked. You think they're dead. You're giving up hope. But actually, this child is being trafficked. And I did a case like that, y'all. I did a case like that long ago. And that is on my record as a rip-off report to the very day, dealing with this individual who had the same issue where I had to do work to bring the daughter home, to save the house, to do all of that. And in the midst of it, it created a problem because I worked with this person before. She said, I'm sorry, we work with again. I work with again. No, there's no more second chances. And then when you finish, it's always an issue. It's a problem because they feel, sometimes y'all, a lot of people feel like because they've invested in you, that they don't each time have to continue to compensate you, that what they've given you should continue their work for lifetime. Some people think that they have bought you. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people like us, we have a lot of trouble, a lot of envy, because people know you have the gifts to do certain things, and there's some envy going on. A lot of people know you're talented and they want to be your handler. They want to, actually control your gifts. So artists, healers, you know what I'm saying? People like this, we have a lot of trouble with people that want to own us. Shit, you talking about, the spiritual beings that want, that's why the Tasmanian devils are dead now, because of their talents and their supernatural gifts. They just actually destroyed these people because of what they had, the land, the power, the magic. This is what went on in New Orleans. This was went on in New Orleans. People had some type of thing there. I can't. I mean, it was a feeling there. It was something very magical about that place. But since they've ran those people out and dampened their spirits, because these people are homeless, they're on the bridges and stuff like that right now. When you go there, you don't feel it anymore. Because now it's commercial. These people ran these people off so that they could profit off of the exploitation of these people' magical gifts. Some of the things that I've done online, I kind of regret it because it created a lot of enemies. Now, to some extent, even, being fully accountable for everything, some of just getting into just talking about certain things, because I never ever talk about individuals and put their government names in my videos or their screen names or anything like that. I may be talking about situations. You understand? And when you do that, a lot of people that don't like you, they feel as if though you're talking about them, and you're not necessarily talking about them. Just like I talk about you are a hoe and you don't want your daughters to be a hoe. I'm not talking about an individual. I'm talking about scenarios. But people will actually put their feelings in it. And I say that it's not the physical being that is offended, it's the spirit that is offended. So let's go back. So when you're going into a situation with a client like that says, hey, look, check this out. I want this off my family. I want you to remove this. And we don't look at these people as bad people. We don't judge these people. This has got to be a place where there's non-judgment when we're dealing with our clients. We have to protect their privacy. I can't get over here and announce, I need to tell y'all Miss Susie is a hoe. Miss Susie came to me and wanted me to do this. Yeah, Miss Susie Brown down the street down there. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just calling out a name because some people be looking for Miss Susie Brown. I don't know a Susie Brown, okay? I don't want Susie Brown coming here and giving me no trouble. Just this HIPAA law. is also in effect on a spiritual level too. Okay, we are bound. I never hear any spiritual workers, and I'm proud of y'all that calls out anyone's first and last name that is a client. Now I may hear it, you addressing your grievances with a content work or whatever. I'm not talking about that. I'm just basically talking about our clients. We have to protect their identity unless they put themselves on blast saying, I'm going to do a rip-off report on you. You put your own name out there. You put your own foot in your mouth. But I say thank you, because this particular lady that did this, I can thank her. She also was honest about the fact that I am supernaturally gifted. Thank you. So it really worked in my favor and not against me. But no one cares about rip-off report because anybody can do it. One of those, my dog can do a rip-off report if it wants to. Everybody can do them. They don't check credentials. I'm mad. I'm going to do a rip-off report. It might not even be true. You see where I'm coming from? But so you don't want to be a hoe no more. You come to me. And I'm very basic with mine. I'm just gonna be honest. Anybody who telling you that I got the power to do that, don't necessarily believe them unless you can really see them. Because those people that do that type of work, I just described those people, hygiene is no longer needed with these people. Hygiene means nothing. Some of them can look very scary because they have dealt with a lot of entities. They change the way you look. They morph you into the pumpkin head witch. Did y'all see her? Did you see the battle scars? I have battle scars on me. A lot of people, I know y'all don't see me and y'all say, she look different. If you only knew the demons I battled. So now you're on the landscape or the astral scape, because you've gotten to the core of the bloodline. I'm going to tell you how. I'm telling you this because is it really worth it losing your life in something like this if you really don't know what you're doing? You got some people who do this shit now. This is a living form. So you're on the astroscape with this force. This force has been here probably for tens of thousands of years with a stronghold on the bloodline of women. Or it could be men who are alcoholics, who pimp women, who scandalize women, low-life, sidewinders, tricksters and jokers. And you said, okay, look, I'm finna do some work on this shit. Now, if you manage to reach the astroscape, which most of us are not, okay, let's be honest. We're not those type of people who are in India and all of these African continents and on these Caribbean islands. These people got this kind of stuff going on here. They're not touched with vaccines and all of this stuff that interferes with your pineal gland that actually is the door into the astral world. So here you are now. You're gifted, you're talented, you're there. Now, what you got to do with this entity to appease, because see, it all starts. We always want to say, okay, well, 5,000 years ago, somebody put a hex on your bloodline. It's deeper than that. 5,000 years ago, it may have been an ancestor that had to do some work for somebody and incorporated a gene, which I don't know what the name would be for it in America, a gene or some type of force or being or entities, something very hard to reach. You know what I'm trying to say? Because it's not very words I can reach to describe whatever this thing is. And it bargained. That family member bargained with it. And maybe they were like this celebrity of a psychic, or I don't know, astrologist or something in the line of dealing with a lot of people, and what it actually traded off was the bloodline of its seed, um, its descendants. And that's just one scenario, because we don't really know. It can be something else. I mean, sparing the life of a loved one, or sparing the life of a client, and they had to consult with a jinn, a genie, or whatever you want to call these things, that have been on the planet way before probably life itself. No telling how long they've been here. They're ancient. Some people making some deals with some ancient ones right now. Ancient beings, ancient forces. But it's like a pawn shop. You've pawned the souls within your hierarchy of your bloodline. You've pawned them. Now, 6,000 years later, these people are dealing with this situation. I don't know, maybe it was a nightlife brothel thing going on in ancient times, like back in Pompeii and some shit like that. Y'all remember that shit? Where they said was so much I don't have the name of it, going on and stuff like that. When that thing flashed from that volcano, everybody was frozen in time. Even shadows were frozen to the ground, and they found some people in compromising positions. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it was a life of that. That's attached now to the bloodline, because that entity, that force, is not going to allow these people to escape the pawn shop, in a sense, until it is fully compensated in blood. So now, you, to be honest, you really want to have a talk and a negotiation? You really want to negotiate with something like that? Knowing that it can, if you're bargaining with it, you got to have really something to give it. I mean, like, what are you going to give it? Yourself? You're not enough. It wants you, and it wants whatever you got. You know, that it wants your children, and it wants stay bloodline. Is it really worth it? Is it really worth it? Now, in some very simple cases, like where you're dealing with a person who might be ill, you can go in and bargain, do some bargaining, but make sure it ain't a devastating sickness that is passed down from generation to generation. You think you could really go in there? What's your pawn? What is your pawn to your pawn? PAWN, to give a equal exchange to satisfy whatever this thing is. What is it? Are you willing to go in there and give up your children and tell them, see what I tell you what, they gave me $500, okay, to go in and bargain with you. So I got these $500. They don't want no money. They don't want no paper. Paper money is an illusion. It only has purpose on a physical level. Spiritually, what do you have to bargain with this entity? You got $500 in your hand. Now, one or two situations to go in that we're looking at. Either you have the power and the supernatural radar that they can see, because these spirits can see. Only a few of us have lights in them dark seas. We're lighthouses. I know I'm a lighthouse, okay? It's funny, if I say I'm a lighthouse, next thing I know, the people who are trying to compete with me, suddenly they're lighthouses, and they say, I don't have no lighthouse. It's just like, this is what I'm going through here. And this community, the people who want to compete with me are claiming to be me now. They're claiming to be older than they are. You know you ain't no more than 20 some years old. Now you're trying to claim you're 55. Some people have claimed my DNA because my DNA, it said that I am one of the most significant ones is North African. I'm Egyptian and I am a descendant of Ramses the Third, according to DNA. Now, whether it's true or not is interesting. I am a descendant of Ramses the Third, so I've been doing a lot of research on him. I did not choose him. The DNA said that he chose me, that I have come from his bloodline. A lot of us has come from the bloodline, but don't assume you come from the bloodline just because I'm saying it. Have your DNA done. Let them just swab your mouth and let them see who you are. You may be something else, more greater than that, but I'm a descendant of a pharaoh. Okay, like I said, he was murdered, and because he had a lot of concubines, and so this is why a lot of us are here. Now I'm a descendant of many bloodlines because you don't have just one DNA in your body, especially if you are an American. You know, we're more or less hybrids of so many different bloodlines, whereas you can go into bloodlines where it's pure. There's a lot of purity in Africa and those places, and I really admire that. I wished I was 100% pure. I wish I could have did my DNA and they just said, hey, look, you're 100% African. You have less distractions going on. I have distractions here where my white ancestors are constantly setting me back. As I go forward, they set me back. I go forward, they set me back. You understand what I'm saying? And a lot of us are operating on our white ancestors' energy. But you're black as I don't know what. And that's what messes that up. But anyways, I want to go back and talk about this thing. $500 ain't worth it if you have the power. It's not. It's not. I don't think nobody want to risk themselves doing that type of stuff. Can you honestly say, I look at women with small children, they don't realize if you're in this business, your children are the pawns. And if you don't believe me, listen to this. I've dealt with some people who've had ailments. I have taken their money, and then my children began to have the ailments. Your children are the pawns. And my children are grown. So you sitting up in the house and you have a 2 or 3-year-old and you doing some work like this, you really don't know what you're doing. And thank God you don't have the power. But people will come to you because they really think that you can do something for them. And you really can't. And that's good. It protects your children. Anybody with kids under the age of, I'm going to go as far as 20 years old, and you're taking money to heal people, I'm going to take the money so I can heal somebody. You're silly. Because when you get to that level where you're dealing with people else, these people are well into their 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s. 1 foot down, 1 in the grave. They can bargain. Ain't no 20-year-old can come in. It's to some extent, a nice, kind word is healing. Don't get me wrong. Because we have different abilities to heal. But I'm saying you can't go and do you really believe you can go into the astral realm? You really believe that? You got a child at home? You really come on, let's talk. And I know deep down in you feel like you can do it. The money makes you feel like, oh, you done gave me $15,000. I'm gonna do this. All you are doing, you're being paid to handle someone else's karma. You may have to give up your child for that. And then they said, oh my God, everything is beautiful. Oh, wonderful. But now your daughter is afflicted or your son is afflicted. Now, when you got small children and you get up to about your mid to late 30s and you're ready to practice, it is okay. But be careful what kind of work you select, because you are giving yourself to your work as a pawn. It took me 15 years to learn this, that I'm the pawn. We got a storm coming, that I am being paid to bargain with your motherfucking handler. Do y'all understand this a little bit better now? Don't believe nobody when they say they can remove a generational hex. Don't believe that. Please, y'all, don't do it. Don't give your money to nobody who's saying that they're gonna send you some herbs to do this. A herbal bath or something like that, or some oil, or I'm gonna give you a prayer cloth to remove your generational hex. I'm gonna give you that. Something that's been on your family, your bloodline for longer than I have been here on the planet. Hello? Been on you for 1,000 years. Jezebel spirit, the pimp spirit, the whole spirit, the gambling spirit, the drug addiction spirit, the food eating demon spirit. I'm going to sit up and give you a bath, burn some candles for you, send you some candles, smoke some incense. That's preposterous. Do you hear me? Go into there and bargain with the entity, and it'll tell you what it wants. That's if you have the power to go over there to it. It'll let you know. It might want you. But you got small kids. What are your children going to do if it comes and gets you? Because you have signed yourself up. You understand? Because see, that's how I come. I got to continuously do some releasing and cleansing over here myself. Now it's constant work. Because you began to look like your work. You began to look like something else is owning you. What you gonna do? And then they get to the point that birds don't even chirp around your house no more. Because now that thing on you now. Now you attracting a bunch of heroin addicts, which I ain't got nothing against the actual victim. I got something against the spirit of heroin. I got something against the spirit of crack. I got something against the spirit of hold'em. I got something against the spirit of Jezebels and pimps, dark nightlife forces, the gambling spirit. I got something against them. Not the individual. Because they have willingly given themselves to something that they did not understand. And until they take accountability, they're not ready to be released from this thing. Just saying I was a formal heroin addict ain't enough. I'm a formal prostitute is not enough. And I know what y'all saying. Well, what is it? The hell if I damn know. All I can say is generation. You can go back in your bloodline and find out Uncle Harry was a pimp too. Sidewinding a low life. A swimmer. Uncle Bobby, you understand, was addicted. So now you got it. You gonna go and buy you some herbs from somebody who said they can remove that? So now once again, you face to face with this force to help your client. What are you gonna give them? just like a fucking hitman. A Bell's bondsman in the goddamn spiritual goddamn world. Hello? Bell bondsman wants your car. He wants your house. You think a herbal bath gonna fix that? Oh, I got a herbal bath for you. Just take a bath and hyssop, and all your problems will be gone. For real? Anyway, I just want to caution you. I'm going on to the chat. I want to caution you, spiritual workers, as to what you're getting yourself into, especially those with children. A lot of your children, especially I have people, oh, she attacked my children. My children were attacked. These are people that need scapegoats for the fact that they are not responsible. If you are a practitioner with small children, there's only a limited amount of work you can do when you're being honest with yourself. If you care about the well-being of your children, just saying that the witch down the street or the witch on YouTube and Facebook did it to my children, it's not going to fix what you got going on. It's going to progress into a serious problem because you're going to meet somebody that's going to be like I said, y'all be careful with these people who done died and came back. Because when a person dies and come back, that's not truly 100% the person anymore. You can't die and come back whole. Something else has come with you. Something else. There is some other energy attached to your soul because there had to be a bargaining at the door of death. And you bargain something. Those are not the same people. They shock your chest, bring you back. They're not the same. Even some of these people have actually physically died and woke back up. That's somebody else. The only reason why you think it's that person because they look the same and they can recall certain past events because they have access within the brain to memories. That's not the same individual. So these people are going to be coming to you. I've had them to come to me. And you'll start losing shit. Because what they're here for now is some of them, not all of them, is to collect. They need payment to whatever this thing that is that they bargain with to get over here. They need payment. Hell, your ass might be the motherfucking payment. I've learned a lot, y'all, on the planet. 55 years in the spiritual world. The thing is, I don't know everything because I'm always constantly going to be a student. So I can't just necessarily just say, oh, y'all, I know everything about life. I'm not going to be honest with myself. Y'all, can we get the thumbs up? I'm not being honest if I say that. Talking about it, I call those vampires. People who have died and come back. They're all vampires, no exception to the rule. Okay? No exception to the rule. I'm not talking about OBEs. A lot of us have had OBEs, astral abilities. I ain't talking about these people. I'm talking about you're in the hospital and you flatlined. No heartbeat, nothing there. And you're back. You don't come back the same. Auntie is flatlined. And she's come back. She's returned. Something about these people. But she chose hers to help other people, whereas other folks is just like bargaining with their entity. Whatever you got in your motherfucking house, you might put a diamond ring down on your dresser, and you may have paid $15,000-$20,000 for it. It's gone. You used to know about it in your house. Since I dealt with the vampire, let me get back to this. I would have little things to just vanish. They'd be like very minuscule things, nothing pricey, you know what I'm saying? It's mostly like food, items and stuff like that. Memory books of pictures and things of that nature. Stuff, that is very precious to you And these people leave that with you. You have to be careful with these clients, the type of energy that they leave. Well, they shed these demons, and you're constantly slaying them. They're attached to you. You're slaying demons all day long, like swatting flies. You're trying to keep the flies out your eyes, your nose, and your mouth. Just last night, and it continues. You don't know when the end of it is, because the last time I dealt with this vampire was like 2018. But we know when that vampire is in the vicinity, because you're gonna feel a shit. It might be a pain that hits you in your body, because this vampire had lots of bone pain. It may just hit you. You'll be like, okay, it's around this vicinity. Okay. And so I went out. I said, I'm going to get a big old bag of rice. I paid $29, if I'm not mistaken, for a large thing of rice, because Miss Willie eat a lot of rice. So I got all of the groceries from the lady. She went on to ring up other people's stuff. So she didn't have it. I actually cleared the buggy, put it in my truck, got home, rice gone. Now, the first thing I was like, I call them bandits. The bandits got me. But this time it was a little bit different, because the ancestors said, no, we had to give that rice to somebody else. And that one right there really got me. But it goes back to this also, putting ourselves at the throne of the ancestors. It's not that all the time it's going to be all about us, but it's going to be about other people in the bloodline that are in need. Can I complain? I got it. Now that rice is going to feed somebody. I could have just started cussing and screaming, but no, I heard the ancestors say distinctly, we got to give that to somebody who needs it. Hello? Thank you, Aja. Okay. So okay. I didn't know we had comments in here. I look off from the phone when I'm talking. Hey Kevin. I'm in the chat, y'all. Once again. Sean, how you doing? Hello, Christopher. Yeah, we're supposed to get some bad weather, because it's getting a little bit too warm, y'all. It's gonna be the hottest summer ever. I told y'all last year, I said it's gonna be one of the hottest summers on record. When the sun was out, it really was, but they did a lot of controlling it with a lot of clouds and rain and stuff like that. But I got a feeling that it's not going to necessarily always be that way, because once again, I've already seen the kaleidoscope in the skies. We're going to have some attacks. I don't know if they're going to be nuclear or what. The world is getting ready to stop. It's going on a cosmic level now. So we may as well get prepared. I got the window open, y'all, and a little bit of that pollen is coming in here. I don't know, everybody don't get that little yellow dust. It was all over everybody's cars yesterday. It's tickling my nose. It's tickling my throat and everything. Back in the chat, y'all. Thank you. Our moderator, Chris, said if you haven't subscribed, y'all please subscribe so that you all can get my notifications, and check out my website in the description box, www.motherwisdomtree.com. Our moderator have the link in the description box. Hey Tina, how you doing? Oh, thank you. Tina said, hey mama, I hear you. And me and my boyfriend send you love. Thank you so much. Love y'all too. Thank you. Kevin says so good to hear you live again, y'all. The wind is blowing that stuff in here, because like I said, the storm is coming. Oh, Kevin said, I know you did the live on readings the other day. I wished I could have been there. Oh, you said Rico pulled a death card on you? Okay. A lot of people get scared when they get that death card and stuff like that. But that death card, it has a lot of meaning to it. Lots of meaning, far more than just, oh, I'm going to die, because we all gonna die. Okay, so we all, if it's about us dying physically, then that means in all of our spreads we're gonna get the death card. Does that make sense? So the death card has a lot more to it. You know what I'm saying? This is why, I'm having I'm having a time, because by July of last year I was supposed to be going to release that deck, but I never got it released because I'm not 100% satisfied with it. Because you got to sit down and write the meaning of the card so that the person can use it to interpret it. Or I can just, if you think you're good enough, I can sell you the deck and you make your own interpretations on it. Mine's have pictures that are so self-explanatory. And so I had 3 decks, one that I was going to give off in a raffle only to people who are interested. I'm not just going to pick a random person, because a lot of people out there are afraid of me. Let's just be honest about it. Whereas I look like a very nice person, you know what I'm saying? Nice is all are very dangerous. They said the devil is very, very nice. So please don't go by people like, she looks very nice, because the niceness is dangerous. It's scary. Nice people are frightening people. What's behind the silence and the smiles? Not the anger, not the frowns. What's behind that smile? You see what I'm saying? So I have a lot of people that are scared and everything, and it's okay. I mean, and I don't say they're scared like, oh, I got power over them. It's more or less, I would say the fear is respect. They know what I do and everything, and they know I'm not pretending over here. This is not a pretend. It's not a pretend. My whole life is going in and out the spirit realm. Now, we all go in and out the spirit realm as we sleep or whatever. Nothing special about that. But some of us, this is our calling to be in this place. And we have source. Like all of that I just got through talking about is source. It comes from a deep inner place in me. Now, don't come from no books or nothing like that. It's channeling. Channeling from my DNA, my bloodline. It's a channel. It's something that owns all our bloodline. And this is what puts you in a position to do the things you do. Like if you're a nurse, it's in your bloodline. If you're a doctor, it's in your bloodline. If you're a lawyer, it's in your bloodline. If you are a you are a person that works with metal and make horseshoes and things that you're blacksmith, it's in your bloodline. You're shaman, it's in your bloodline. You're witch, it's in your bloodline. Your psychic is in your bloodline. Your mystic is all in the bloodline. You're a village woman, you know what I'm saying? If you're a janitor, it's in the bloodline. Something owns it. But now we gotta stop. We're here talking about, we got some herbs to remove bad energies off people. Come on now. Baths are only to make you feel refreshed and renewed, and to give you power to believe, because it's all about belief that you can conquer and do anything. But that ain't gonna take care of that entity that is looking for its pay. Let me get back in here. Hey, Truth and Chakras, how you doing? Hey, Kendra. Oh, am I talking to myself? Don't tell me I ain't got no audio. Somebody said the audio went out. Y'all press 1 if you can still hear me. And that was way back up there. Press 1 if you can hear me. Okay, thank you. Hey, Chastain, how you doing? Thank you for moderating. Okay, somebody said the audio went out. That's probably when I went to the other line to answer the phone. So that was way back in the beginning. Hey, Love Jackson, how you doing? Hey, Sunshine Girl, thank y'all for alerting me because I thought maybe the whole time I was talking to myself. You know, I'm like, hell no, that ain't gonna work. Hey, Sonia. Hey, Queen Holland. Hey, Queen Holland, how you been? Hey, Nicole Mastella. Hello, Nicole Tracy. Hey, Cosmic Stylist. Hey, Ebony Rose. Hey, Luxury Hippie. Hey, Intuitively in Sync. How you doing? Okay, let's talk about what she just said. Intuitively in Sync says, very true, mother. I did so many workings on myself, and I noticed that my workings has gave me a lot of realization, but it's a lot more that needs to happen until I can truly heal. Look, I tell people not only is our healing journey a lifetime on this planet, but our healing journeys go beyond this existence on this planet. Do you hear me? The good thing is you're on the journey to heal. Okay? You will continue to do that, okay? Because it's all about healing the generation to come before you. Because you're going to reincarnate into that generation. So the healing begins now with you and then your children. And when you come back to that generation, you have released yourself. You've bargained with whatever that is. So truly, the only body that can truly bargain with that thing in the astroscape is the individual itself. Now, in some cases, they get these witch doctors and stuff to go over and do some work. And I'm just going to be honest with y'all. Y'all need to watch these goddamn Nollywood movies. Them Nigerians know what they're talking about. See, so I pull a lot of my information from my Nigerian bloodline. 50% Nigerian here. I am a Nigerian woman. I always tell people I am an African woman living in the Americas. I've been here since 6300 BC. It's so crazy. I would wish you all would do that. So I feel you, okay? I feel you. It's just I want to congratulate you for beginning the work. Because when you heal, you're healing your descendants. I am my descendant. I am my ancestors. This is why it's very important that I put everything I got to my grandbaby. I got to give him my all. My bones, my sweat and tears. I got to work with him. Because what it is he is the reincarnation of Mr. Willie's brother. Like I said, his brother got shot in the right hand because he had his hand over his chest and it went through his chest. And this baby had a black mark when it was born on the right hand and on the chest, the left side. It had it there. And when I saw it, it was confirmation that we come back. And it's crazy because my oldest daughter, is the reincarnation of Mr. Willie's mother. She died very, very young. And she came back through my daughter. She had liver cancer. And, just putting everything into place scares me. She was an organist. She was a musician, just like Mr. Willie. Mr. Willie got the talent and everything. And for some reason, like I said, we had keyboards everywhere. My daughter never ever tried to play them, but now she's trying to play now. I really want to play. And then I said to myself, that's her. She don't have any memory of her past life. But I told her, I said, you got to remember so that thing won't come back up on you no more. Now, when she was born, and see, I didn't know no better. She was jaundiced. She was a jaundiced baby, meaning that her liver still hadn't quite healed. It's her all over again. Mr. Willis, I don't know my mama too well because she died young. She said, but I know that energy that my daughter have on her, his daughter, is very familiar. But what's so interesting is she gave birth to her first son over again, which was Mr. Willis' oldest brother, who was the first. Do y'all hear me? She get a chance to do it all over again. But I told her your liver is what you gonna have to work on, whatever that thing is in that gut. You got to always pay some attention to it. I mean, and she gets to crying and all that, but that's just how my mind is, man. I'm like, you are the reincarnation of. You need to know it. So what I was trying to say. So but he is a bit spoiled. He in that area where he got shot in his heart, he always rubs it. He rubs it when he drinks his sippy cup, he rubs it. He whines, he pouts, and he rubs it. He rubs it because it could be an issue where he have heart issues. Some of our ailments, our physical ailments here we have now have their past life issues. Even with the birthmarks on our body, like I was telling everybody, I have like the map of Cuba on my thigh. Goes from my butt all the way down my leg. It's a very, very light colored spot that looked like it may have been a burn of some kind, but I done had so many lifetimes. Which one we want to talk about? Okay, which one? But the birthmark is usually from the last life. Is always the last life. So we're here to heal also, not only to learn, but to heal, because we're going to continue many, many, many lives. A lot of people say, oh, it's just over when you die. That is not true. When you die, you go through a recycling center so they can erase the memories and bring you back over and over again, unless you have passed this level of classroom work here on this planet, and then you'll be promoted to probably another world of some kind. Okay? So heal thyself. Heal. And I know, and it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. If me just sit here just tell you this like it's easier said than done. It's hard to put them fried chicken legs down and stuff. You understand? We've been eating them since the last past life, and this is why we have trouble with cholesterol and high blood pressure. Most of this is coming from the other lifetime. Carrying loads for everybody. Back in the chat. And I think that's going to do it. Any questions? Hey, Hecate, how you doing? Oh, interesting. Hecate says that he has a... Okay, I just experienced a live interruption. They do that. We done reached up to 40, so they got to start spinning and stopping it. They like, hell no, You know what I'm saying? It's more a psychological thing than it is anything. You understand? To convince you that doing videos is a waste of time is to discourage you. You know what I'm saying? To convince you that there's no one in your chat room is to discourage you all. So we have to be past that. Me, I see it as a sign, as I'm really on to something. It ain't but one or two people in here. Oh, they really trying to stop everybody from watching. It's going to be a powerful video crossroads. Please open up the roads for everyone in here that is receptive and give them knowledge, understanding, and healing. Give it to them. Don't allow nothing, no entity, no force, no nothing, okay, to block any of the roads. And if the roads are blocked and they're stacked where we cannot get through, please give us a detour. Let this information that I've given vibrate from this planet on every rock and foundation to beyond the cosmos. Let every single rock, asteroid get this vibration. I like the way that person put it, what they said. It says a ripple effect. Okay, I remember it was Zen that said that. She said everything is a ripple effect. You can say something very profound and it rings and rings and rings and it never stops. It goes out not only through make the water move, but it goes outside of the planet to every star system. This the kind of power y'all have. You can change the narrative at any particular time where they say war here, war there, war there. You can bring some peace to that. You can calm that down. You can stop the inevitable. But why stop it? There needs to be a change of power. Why interfere with it? Let it be. Let it be. Y'all, I have enjoyed this trip. Um, Anybody got any question? Hecate said, "What is the meaning of the sea horse?" Oh my goodness, it can have so many meanings. So I don't want to just throw something out at you and just say, "Yeah, it's this." Just like me with this Cuban map on my leg and always being drawn to Santiago, not even knowing what that was as a kid. I just assumed maybe that's where I used to live. They didn't find any kind of, they didn't say I had any Cuban DNA or anything in me. They didn't say that. But I do believe I was possessed by Cuban energy when I was 38 because I began to be drawn to Cuban artwork and it started showing up in my art. I just was drawn to it. Maybe I was possessed by the artist or what have you. When you say, the seahorse is there, you may want to do a lot of research on seahorses. Okay? It could be deep. You could have been now I'm just I can't I would have to really do a reading to go deep into it, connect with your vibrations and your energy outside of all of the energies and vibrations that are here. But I think I know you. Don't I know you? Didn't you used to be on my Facebook? Is this the Hecate I know? Because if it is, I'm gonna tell you what's going on. I need to know if that's you. Is this you? Tell me if it's you. I'm waiting on you. Don't we know each other? If you tell me, a little bit more, then I'll go into deep depths that was of something that I just saw. Okay. Um. Okay, Hecate, I know you. Let me tell you something. Just sitting here talking about that seahorse, I saw an image of a merman. A merman. For people who don't know what a merman is, there you have the features of a merman. You have the features of a merman. I can see this now. Don't hold me to this because we're not doing a thorough read. When I look at you, you have had a life of an aquatic type being, underwater, undersea. And a lot of people don't know some of us are descendants of sirens. Hello? But you strong have it. I mean, like I'm just having these chills up and down my arms as I talk to you about that. You need to connect with the sea life. I'm not saying go and jump in the sea. I'm just saying there is something there. See, a lot of our origins, we think of we were always just humans. Nuh-uh. Some of us come from the descendants of other beings. Dolphins. There's a connection with dolphins, a connection with I can't even call that sea creature's name. That has that sharp whip on its tail, stingrays and all of those jellyfish and stuff. A lot of your power comes from oceanic type entities. And that's what you need to connect with, when you're connecting with these energies and stuff, if you're a descendant of them, they're willing to do biddings for you, but it's always got to be something in it for them too. Because I mean, it's got to be something in it for me too. I'm not gonna do work for free for nobody. Like I had somebody in this community, was a man that called me to do readings on their clientele, and it went on from there. Recently, I think about 2 months ago, an individual said that person sent them to me. And I told him, I said, until you can hit my Cash App, my PayPal, go to my website and book, I can't help you. And they were adamant. They were angry and yelling at me. And they told me this person sent them to me and demanding for me to hear them out. I don't want to hear anything but my Cash App alert. I don't want to hear anything but my PayPal alert. Okay? Once I hear that, I will go further into detail with you. But do never ask me to take care of your clients after you have taken their money. I am very disturbed. And I felt the individual was on the other line. Don't do that again. Because the next time it happens, I'm going to call your name. And this is something I never do. I will call your name. If you have more subscribers than I do, okay, I have nothing to lose. You have something to lose, not me. So don't do that again. You don't want to be exposed. I'm being very nice, and you know who you are because you watch. Because I watch you. Okay? Y'all don't be sitting out here doing no free readings for nobody. Don't do it. This is the way, this is the way we eat and take care of ourselves, but it's deeper than that. We're giving you something from our spirits, and our spirits deserve to be compensated. You're not going to leave me with a deficit, because sometimes you may be trading places with people. I'm homeless. I'm in the street. I have nowhere to go. Next thing you know, this person got somewhere to live now, and you homeless in the streets, and you ain't got nowhere to go. And your magic don't work for you no more because they got it. Hell no. I ain't finna sit down here and listen to your problem. Go back and tell the individual to give you your money back. And then they get mad with you and put you on a rip-off report and shit and make up all kind of stories on you. Get it and open up the cameras and cam up and talk about you like a dog because they were not able. See, that stuff don't mean nothing to me no more. They were not able to swindle you into doing what they want you to do. This man was very aggressive with me. Now, I'm sitting in the middle of something. My bills ain't getting paid. But the person who sent them, their bills are paid. They can go around and flash the cash. But now I started my morning off feeling real good. Now I have to, broke as I can be, have to just deal with that bad energy. This is why when people call, I don't necessarily answer. I just say, please text me. If you don't say anything back, I'm not going to say anything back because I feel like people who really need my assistance, that are willing to pay for what they're going to gain, they're going to respond with the text. Hey, look, check this out. How can I get you paid? I need a reading. I need some work. Can't do none of that. You wasted my time. You wasting your time, not mine. I'm not getting on the phone with nobody's dirty energy no more. Cause see, with that those spirits connect with you over the phone. They come over on your side, onto your side, because the spirit is everywhere at the same time. Okay, so you way out in California. Okay, and I'm way in Alabama. But the spirit is here in the midst of us in one place. You're not gonna leave that over here with me. Go back to whoever you gave your money to handle it with them. Before you know it, you sitting down here, they bad mouthing you. All my money gone. See, they using me as, the man's trying to use me as a scapegoat. He's a YouTuber. Now, the fact that you didn't deliver and your client is frustrated, you want to divert it over here to me and make them frustrated with me. Y'all see that tactic? I'm just going to be honest. If you know you cannot read, be honest with these people about it. And you can't pay nobody else to divine for you. Be honest with them. I can't divine, but I can do work. There are some people who can divine, but they can't do work. There are some people who can do work, but they can't divine. There are some people who have source and channel. They can tell you a whole bunch of stuff. They can't execute none of it. So everybody got different abilities. And you got some people who can divine and they have the ability to do work. They can do both. You got some people who could take it farther and create tools for you, like the astral dolls, the spirit dolls, the puppet dolls, the voodoo dolls, whatever you want to call them, dolls, soul dolls. They can create it. You have some people who can go a little bit further and create these astral scapes to show you what they look like. Oh, those people, my God. Oh, those artists, they could put you in a whole nother world. You have that artwork, you can just look in there and gauge at it and go inside of those art paintings. Like those paintings are amazing. You got a lot, I call those surrealist. Surrealism. Surrealist compositions are what they're called. They could take you on a journey, just like that apocalyptic artist. What his name was, Z. Benzinski, is one of the most, for myself personally, one of the most talented, artistic type expressive artist that I've ever seen, to be able to show you such beautiful destruction. It's beautiful. Z. Benzinski. Y'all check him out. Another one who has some incredible art. If you are a light person, you like the light being type people, would be like Thomas Kincaid, his work. Goya. I liked his work at the end, towards the end of his life. Goya was dealing, they say he was dealing with his demons, but he depicted these witches that were like just what we would call ugly, because this is what we were taught, that they were ugly, because their nose were twisted and their eyes were popped out and everything. But they were getting together for the Sabbath and they were so happy, you know what I'm saying? And the devil was there. And I like stuff like that, because what they're bringing to us is not the mundane of what we see every day. They're bringing us things that and I love those type of artists, surrealists, because, which I wouldn't say necessarily that they are surrealists, but, because surrealism, y'all look it up, is not necessarily what surrealists would be like. And I cannot call this man's name. He was a surrealist. Gosh, I can't even. When I'm on the spot, I can't think. But what they're doing is showing you something. All art is beautiful. All art is beautiful. Abstract, all that is beautiful. But when someone is able to paint something, you understand, that a place you can't go, or a place you've never seen, that's amazing to me. Because what you're doing is you're opening up a window for us to experience something within thine self that no one else has access to. Okay. Okay, have a good night, Kevin. Okay, because I think it's nighttime on his side. No one had any Oh, Hecate said Yamaya. Sonia, I will be here Friday. Sonia wants to read. I'll be here Friday to just do a tidbit, but you're really doing yourself an injustice when you do a tidbit if you don't get a full spread. But if you can't afford a full spread, it's all right. Like I say, once again, I will be doing tidbits. um some people say they got scared. Don't get scared. It's not the end of the world. It's a heads up. That's all. I be scared too, y'all. I pulled a card on myself. I said, "Ooh, I was so nervous," but it just was showing me that I was controlling somebody. That's what it showed me, and I resent that. I'm not controlling nobody. I pulled one card on myself. I'm gonna pull one card on my own self and live and elaborate on it too. I'm not just gonna pull on y'all. I pull on myself, and I want to fix my camera so when I do these pulls, one pull, three pull, I always use odd numbers. I want you all to see me pulling it. Oh, y'all, I'm reading the comments. Hey, did I speak to you? How you doing? Okay, said, "What do I think about deja vu moments?" She's experienced it. Listen, let me tell you what deja vu is. Come on, y'all. Can we get these thumbs up? Y'all, what the hell is going on? It says I've been on live for 19 minutes. I guess that's the reset. Maybe we've got lost some portions of this video because I've been here for almost 2 hours, if not 2 hours. It says I've been on here 19 minutes, so something is wrong. They must have reset it, so we might lose some. They're doing everything to play the psychological game with me. And I know their tactic, so it don't really bother me. I'm just going to still be coming here. The psychological tactic, like I said, is to show me no one is interested. They want me to be frustrated with them taking numbers. Just like I got a lot of hits on the other channel doing the video on the readings and stuff. It got up to 1,700. They retracted it down to 1,500. So they be retracting numbers and stuff. Oh, it was not, we had to take some because some of the views and stuff wasn't right and this and all that. Come on. I mean, it just, what difference does it make? I mean, when you feeding those people through that you like and you give them an automatic click because you forced it through the traffic, you're not subtracting from that. You only subtract from the people you don't like and you don't want here. And it's just individuals that abuse their privileges. But yeah, so they did that. They took me down from 1,700 views on that live stream. They took it down to 1,500. They just shave off it to make you frustrated. They want you to be frustrated with everything they take from you. But I'm not frustrated. I'm encouraged because I'm just going to let the audience know what's going on with these interruptions and these lives. Shaving off the views, y'all. This is them trying to stop me. Oh gosh, I just saw a pharaoh. Just saw the little head piece of the pharaoh and everything that he wears, the man. Y'all, it used to be a female pharaoh in Egypt. No one talks about the female pharaohs. But y'all know I'm rambling because I'm creative. The deja vu moments. Let's talk. What is going on with the deja vu moment is you are remembering. Did you hear me? You're remembering because this life is a repeat. It's a repeat. We done lived this life before, but we done played this game of cards in this deck before. I just want to just pick up my cards and just shuffle them. I don't know why, but I just get this strong urge to pick up a deck. But yeah, so when you get to that moment, you're like, this happened before. I remember you had the same pair of pants on and you said that same thing. I remember. And then all of a sudden everything stops. You don't remember anything else. That's because they don't want you to remember. Those entities that govern the matrix, not in your bloodline, because you got entities that discover hierarchies and all of those that govern your bloodline, but these are the ones that govern. And see, part of this video might be missing because some things are not supposed to be spoken of as far as the matrix, as far as the people who run these platforms and stuff. Some things are not to be spoken of. They don't want you to know about it. Is it all physical? Some of it may be supernatural on a supernatural level, them interfering with certain uh, communications. So, like I said, so it's all about remembering it. You have to remember. You cannot lose the information. To lose the information is to say it's not done. It hasn't been done. That's just like our practices that we practice here in the Americas before our ancestors came over here. I mean, to be able to connect with the gods, there's certain songs that need to be sang, certain rituals, certain foods, certain herbs, certain wines. Gone. And this is why I'm encouraging you all to connect with the ancestors so that you can restore. Do you hear me? The languages. It's hard to do that with the distractions of, oh, the bills need to be paid. I need to hustle. I need to make some money. I need to see what I'm saying. You can't. And that's the reason why these distractions are here. Because to restore is to reclaim and recover. And that ain't gonna work out for them now. They go high, they go high. We can't have y'all doing this. Then y'all gonna be on the top and we gonna be on the bottom. But you gotta realize mysticism will be on the top. Magi, magician, all that stuff will be on the top and the matrix will be on the bottom. For the next so many millenniums. There's nothing they can do about it. So, it's going to be war-torn here. Maybe not in my lifetime, but it's coming. It's going to be war-torn. They're going to come through. First thing they're going to do is missile the Statue of Liberty. And they're going to missile the Capitol, the White House. All of them are going to be under attack and under siege. The president will be under siege. And what's so bad about it is it's going to be traitors that is going to actually do the president that way. The people in office right up under him, that's what's going to do it. Now, I'm not talking about this particular president we got now, but this is eventually what is going to happen. It's coming. Or maybe not under siege, maybe and they tell me don't talk about it because you make it real when you talk about it, but my people need to know. Maybe just an assassination or some type of heart attack or some issue. So, something that's going to happen, and that's going to begin the ripple effect, like the lady said, the ripple effect, the domino effect, because the gods of the ancients are actually stomping through this place, you know what I'm saying? And destroying monuments. You're gonna hear a lot about that. This place is getting ready to crumble. Babylon must fall in order for us to continue into the journey of Aquarius. You can't get into Aquarius unless something is destroyed. This place got to be destroyed. It's going to be destroyed. We're going to be just okay. We're going to be fine. We're going to go with the flow unless, we're not able to. And we have to go on and be recycled and be replenished to come back to this place, so you go to the next level of whatever your spiritual journey is, your infinite journey is. How do I feel about it? I numb to it because I know it's inevitable. I keep going to the astral, seeing it over and over again in other worlds. And it's also a um it's justice. It's justice for so many people, class wise, race wise, justice for the animals that have been eaten and tortured, justice for the trees that have been cut down and used for wood burning and building homes. The home I live in, the food that I eat is from the injustice of some other being. There must be destruction. So many trees are being violated. Even myself, I have just gotten my hedge clippers and whacked them down. Little bitty trees coming up. Whack, whack. I don't want you here. I'm just as guilty. I'm just as guilty. And I must admit my guilt in the atrocities of other beings. And like I say, they are the most evolved beings on the planet, the trees especially. Those are our guardians. They are our true ancestors. We used to be trees. I really do believe I see a connection with us in the trees. You know, like our hair is the leaves and our nails is the bark. Our toenails are the bark. We have so much in relation to them, and trees can tell us so many stories. It's so sad and unfortunate that we live in a society where we think it is okay to, just go and just kill something to eat. I sacrifice chickens. Oh, I got to blood sacrifice you so I can eat you. And because it's a program within us, all these programs will be destroyed. Okay. Okay. So anybody got any more questions? Oh, Nicole says, Mama, the elm tree in Illinois are being cut. The elm tree is the eldest tree on the planet. Okay. Thank y'all so much for coming out. Okay, Chastain wants to know what time Friday. It's usually around 9 p.m. is when I'll get started. I'm always cammed up, so you will be able to see me on camera. Okay. I got a lot of numbers on the other channel, which is so interesting, camming up and doing the reading. But this channel right here is being attacked severely. So, they're doing everything, y'all, over here to keep the view count down. And so, anyways, and I had to do a little bit of trickery to get them to distribute this video to you all. So it takes that sometimes. You know what I'm saying? So there aren't any more questions. I guess I'm out. Save this video to the side. Hey Alex, how you doing? Save this video to the side. Okay. So you can watch it over and over again. I'm just looking through the chat. Okay. That's it. I'm out. Bye-bye, y'all. Rate and subscribe.